Yo, what's up? My name is Ryan, but a lot more people know me as Shooky, and I'm pulling this Call of Duty Black Ops 2 gameplay out of the vault before Ghost comes out, right, tonight. This gameplay right here, this first one, is an incredible ace that you're going to see in the next round. This is, for my OG subscribers, because, Call of Duty is really how this channel started. And I want to share this with you guys. I have a couple nice clips. This first clip is this crazy ace that you're gonna hear. I get mildly turned at the end of the round. You're gonna hear it might be a volume warning actually. But the next gameplay, is a flawless 17-0 standoff search and destroy league play game. I get 2 aces. Okay, I don't even die in this next game. Okay, so in this gameplay right here, I see 2 people on driveway. I get this double nade right here. I see this dude coming out of art. There's a 3-piece right. I go down driveway. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh. And I lose it. Okay, so this was against a really good team, and I was playing exceptional, and we really needed it. But my plan for this commentary, I kind of want to tell you guys, how I got started on Xbox, how I made my way, through the ranks on Call of Duty 4, and eventually became a Call of Duty 4 professional. I think when I was a sophomore in high school, and I just kind of want to share that journey with you. Okay, so this is the end of that ace. I don't know if you can really hear me in the background or not, but the 17-0 game is coming up right here, and I apologize for this platinum division garbage. Okay, it's nonsense. I'm a stat whore, as you guys know, because I like to say that I'm the top-rated three-point shooter in the world right now, and easily the best YouTuber out there, right? You know what I'm talking about? So I love my stats. I created a second account so I wouldn't ruin my main account stats, and I lost a couple games in my placement matches, right? So I got stuck in Platinum Division. But no worries. 17-0, 2 aces coming right up. For those of you who like Call of Duty content, and I kind of want to upload some Ghost gameplays in the future. But I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not, so I thought I'd at least share with you guys some of my more impressive Black Ops 2 moments. So the way I really got started on Xbox, it started kind of with Halo. I went to my friend's house, in early junior high. I think it might have been even in elementary school when I started playing Halo for the first time at my friend's house with his brothers and his brothers' friends, and I got hooked on Halo, and eventually I got hooked on it so much, I got addicted so much that I bought an Xbox off of eBay with Halo 2 when I think Halo 2 just came out, and I loved it. I loved Halo 2. I played super competitively in Halo 2. I think I actually aced this first round after that sick knife you see right there. I get Halo 2, I go super hard in Halo 2, and that was back in the day where you could go to Blockbuster, right? You could go to the local Blockbuster down the street, and you could rent video games. You could probably still do that, but I rented Call of Duty 3, or Call of Duty 2, maybe Call of Duty 3 a couple times, but eventually, I think Call of Duty 4 was the first Call of Duty title that I owned. And oh my gosh, Call of Duty 4, I loved it. I think that game is still the best Call of Duty to date, and a lot of competitive players agree with me on that. Call of Duty 4, I don't even want to get into it. I got to stay on this story because I might not even be able to finish it. I might have to do a two-part series for this. So, Call of Duty 4, I played public matches. I was a public match all-star. I was on the grind, the competitive grind for public matches, right? In Call of Duty 4, win streaks were like a big deal to public match players because you could go into search and destroy, and each round was a game win. So you could go on these crazy hundreds upon hundreds of game wins, these game-winning streaks, by just never losing a round of search and destroy. And that's really how I got started, because I just got on and played with the same 6 people in Call of Duty 4 search and destroy, and eventually okay, don't laugh about this, be nice. Okay, so I met this dude, and his gamer tag was Lil Bunny Fufu. I think that's what I remember his gamer tag being, and he introduced me into this website called Game Battles. A lot of you may know it because it's a much more a prominent factor in the competitive Call of Duty scene now. But Game Battles back then, was like the online version of an MLG tournament. Okay, so Game Battles back then, I got started and I played with these guys that invited me to their team, right? And eventually, I got tired of taking a back seat, and I realized that I wanted to, be the captain of my own team. I wanted to play a certain way, and I didn't really think that the way we were playing currently at that time was the way we should be playing. So I started my own team, and don't laugh at me again, okay? I'm super embarrassed. I made this team called 4-Game Sweep. Okay, 4-Game Sweep, and I thought it was so cool. I still think it's kind of cool, actually, to this day. But I made up this team called 4-Game Sweep, and as you guys know, I like, intertwining, I guess. I like intertwining my sports and my video games, and that's how I came up with Shook Ya, right? I like to juke people. In basketball, crossovers, and in Halo, you had the strafe, so I came up with Shook Ya, right? And in 4-Game Sweep, I like it because you have that infamous 4-Game Sweep. You bring out the broom. You hear that in baseball. You hear that in the postseason and NBA Finals, right? Game 7. The 7-game series is 1st to 4. You hear that, the 4-Game Sweep or whatever. So I like that because it also kind of tied into Call of Duty in the sense that there are 4 rounds in Search and Destroy, in competitive Search and Destroy back then at least. And I really loved 4-Game Sweep. So I started this team, and that's really where my competitive Call of Duty career started. I started on 4-Game Sweep. Eventually, I was playing with friends. I was playing with kids that I met online in public matches. And eventually, I just got really good. Like, I had a really good understanding of the game. I was playing against good kids and dropping numbers, right? I was just roasting kids in these gunfights, right? And eventually, I operated on this system of like this 1% success rate, right? I wanted to get known, and I operated on this 1% success rate. I sent, I thought to myself, if I sent 100 friend requests, even if one person, even if I had a 1% success rate, and one person accepted my friend request, I would eventually get known. Maybe some guy I sent a friend request to, just got home from the ice cream shop, had some cookies and cream, was feeling extra special nice that day, right? And he accepted my friend request and, had some decent respect for my game. As you see, I'm 10-0 right here. So that's how eventually I got known. And I met some really cool guys who are super funny and they're super good at the game. I'm hoping at least one of them watches this. I'll probably give them the link anyway. But they're from this team that's still kind of known today. These players, not so much, because they're onto bigger and better things. But their names, the team name was Team VVV. It was VVV stands for Vision, Valor, Victory. And I think they still have some competitive teams today. But anyway. Their names were Riot, Shamrock, and Havoc. And the 3 of us made up the team VVV Vivid. And we played in the 2008 Pro Circuit ladder of game battles. Okay, that's when I went from Search and Destroy and I went to the competitive playlist on game battles where you had to pay on the ladder. You had to pay for to play on this certain ladder, and you played these MLG game types, right? And if you complete a full season, and you have these pro points that keep you in the top 8 as a team, you get invited to the national finals after 3 PCLs, 3 Pro Circuit ladders, which concludes the season. So PCL 3 of 2008, I played with VV Viv. I love strafing behind this pole right here. I get some nasty shots on these kids, and I clutch it with the Hellstorm missile. So VVV Vivid, I played in 2008, and then after 2008, there was like an interim, right? There was a little break until the 2009 season started, and I went back to playing Search and Destroy in that break, and I went to this team called Lackluster Talent, okay, LT, as you guys see in my gamer tag these days, and that's how eventually I got known. I played with these players on Lackluster Talent, Lack of Respect, Lack of Doubt, and Lack of Intent. The 2 of us, Lack of Respect and Lack of Doubt, and me, LT Shook Ya, we formed, kind of a dynasty. We weren't like the best Call of Duty team or anything close to it, but we played throughout the 2009 season together, and we played well enough. We were the best Search and Destroy team in the game. Okay, we were the best Search and Destroy team in the game. We were dominating Search and Destroy. We even had a team. We had a guy from Envious. Okay, a very prominent name in Search and Destroy. A guy named Sid Rock. He actually created a second account named Paradox Envy. You know, some of my OGs from the Call of Duty 4 days are going to remember this. But I talked to Sid Rock, you know, at the MLG National Finals where my career kind of climaxed. And he told me that he created this Paradox Envy account. He created this Paradox Envy account because he didn't want us to know that he went on his Sid Rock account, stole our search and destroy, my search and destroy strats, okay, and took them back to Envious with him, just so he could either beat teams with them or beat us with them. And it was just crazy. But we played throughout the 2009 season. We played out the 2009 season. We placed 8th, I think 11th and 12th or 13th or something like that. And the first PCL, or the first PCL in 2009, we placed in top 8. I think I remember the actual date and time that I was considered pro at Call of Duty 4, right? Like, super nerd moment right there. But I loved it. I loved playing it. And eventually, throughout 2009, we placed well enough. We had enough pro points to make it to Anaheim, California. As you see, the game concludes right here. 17-0, 1,900 points, 2 aces, right? This guy sends me a message. He goes, "Thank you, LOL." So we got invited to the national championships in Anaheim, California. And we got slaughtered because our team wasn't that good. I had a great tournament. My friend Doubt had a great tournament, and it was just awesome. You know, I might go further down the road, but I just wanted to share that with you guys with this gameplay right here. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in Call of Duty Ghosts and 2K14. Peace.